What's up, Pizzaholics? I'm over here at a place called Sepe's Pizza Bar. Big place, big place. Sepe is short for Giuseppe. They got pizza, they got appetizers. I'm going to show you guys some beautiful dishes. Let's go eat, everybody. It was a Monday afternoon, right around lunchtime. Place was not too busy, but people started to pack in once 3 o'clock hit. We started out with an appetizer here, guys. The cacio e pepe cauliflower. Look how gorgeous that dish is, smothered in a rich, cheesy cacio e pepe. And, of course, you got to have some fried calamari before the pizza, right? Threw some lemon on there. They give you some marinara. Got some chicken wings with some cherry peppers and slivers of garlic. Very garlicky, spicy. A different take on wings. But that buffalo cauliflower for me did it. Because that cacio e pepe sauce was absolutely some of the best I've ever had. Including cacio e pepe on pasta, whatever. In this case, cauliflower. That's right, guys. Got to get the fiber intake in there. You know, you're going to eat pizza, you're going to need that fiber. And stay tuned for the pizza, everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a firm vegetable, especially cruciferous vegetables such as cauliflower. But this cauliflower could have used more time in the oven. They cooked the cauliflower in the oven, so it was never boiled or anything. And it kind of didn't even have a roasted flavor when you consider the fact that it was cooked in their oven. But that cacio e pepe sauce was so good, I even put it on the chicken wings. And it didn't need it. Those chicken wings were bursting with flavor. Lots of garlic, cherry peppers. They were pretty spicy. I'd say medium level. The meat, not the most tender, but not the driest either. They weren't bad. They were not bad. Would I order it again? Probably not, but I would love to make these wings at home with the same ingredients. Loads of garlic and lots of cherry peppers. These wings were a refreshing diversion from the usual buffalo wings and barbecue wings and all that. Different. Again, folks, before we get to the pizza, the main event, I just got to talk about that cacio e pepe sauce again. It was so good. I put it on the calamari. I skipped the marinara. Oh, man, that cacio e pepe, I would put it on toast. I would put it on anything. That's how good it was. Cheesy, made very well. By the way, the calamari, pretty tender. Slight chew. Always a good sign when they give you tentacles. If they give me fried calamari without the tentacles, that's a bad sign. For me, at least. But they weren't bad. So, what do you say we get to the main event? The service was good. They gave us brand new plates just before the pizza arrived. And here we have a grandma vodka. Goodness me.
Calda, calda.
The crust was super thin. These slices could have benefited from a reheat. Look at the ass on this thing. Look at the dimples on the bottom of that base. Come on. Look how all the cheese and sauce spread to the edge. Cheese to sauce ratio, perfect. Cheese, good funk, good dairy flavor, fresh. And then we got a mushroom truffle pie. Different, round, thicker cornichon. This grandma here, much thinner. Look at the crust there. Look at the blisters, light. Look at the leopard skin char. They know how to prepare dough in this place. Nice snap to the crust. But I didn't get a strong truffle flavor. They're using truffle oil. Lacking flavor, the truffle oil didn't do much but add grease to the pizza. I like the touch of Parmigiano there. It's a 2 cheese. Very light crust, airy, baked perfectly. But the star of the show for me was the vodka grandma. Despite its flaws, I think the cheese to sauce to crust ratio was off. Not the cheese to sauce ratio, the cheese to sauce to crust ratio. The crust was a little too thin and really was bogged down by all that delicious flavor, that cheese and sauce. I think it was too thin, and if it was a little more lightly topped, it may have retained more crisp. 8.2 all the way. Again, loads of sauce. I did not mind. Look at that sauce gush out. But I think it overwhelmed the crust. And a little thicker crust may have helped. But hey, minor gripe. Was some crunch towards the edges, but those middle slices, not so much. As for the mushroom truffle oil pie, well, flavor, like I said before, was lacking a bit. I've had better truffle oil pies. I didn't really get that strong truffle flavor, And the mushrooms were thickly cut. And there's a look at the air pockets. Nice aeration. Both crusts, very light on the chew. You're going to easily down these pizzas in several bites per slice. Light crust, delicious. You ain't going to get mad at these babies, despite their flaws. The mushrooms were just too thickly cut. I want my mushrooms nice and thin, but pretty decent crunch towards the end. Again, if the mushrooms were cut a little different, they were too thick. If they were thinner, I would have gave this a higher score. The crust saved it, and you know what? The ingredients were still very good. 7.7 for the truffle mushroom. Good. Man, was it nice to have some real pizza once again. Come out to Sepe, one of the top 3 places on Staten Island. That's right, top 3, not top 5, top 3. Not top 3 restaurants, top 3 pizzerias. You come for those thin crust grandma pies. Guys, hit the like and the sub, much appreciated.